Hello you guys, what's up? My name is Liora and for today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my collection with OFRA Cosmetics. I am so excited. So I got the opportunity to work with OFRA Cosmetics this time around. I was part of the project influencer for season 2 about 2-ish years ago, which was an amazing experience with them. And so this time around I had the opportunity to create my personal collection from scratch, which I was like, okay, dreams, honestly, they do come true. So exciting. This collection is called the Beyond Words collection, and that's a phrase that I typically say, so I figured it would be very fitting for this one. Here is what the box looks like, and then we have a picture of myself and a little bit about myself too. I'll share with you guys a little bit about the collection. I am from Brooklyn. I was born in the city, Manhattan, but I lived in New York and Brooklyn my whole entire life. I never moved to a different city, different state, none of that. I have no idea how it feels like to live somewhere else. So I really wanted a collection that hits home, and I wanted to share my life with you all. So here's what the box looks like. Again, you can purchase this whole box on its own, or you can purchase the products individually. So the lips as a duo, and then the eyeshadow palette on its own. Let's get started with the palette first. I'll share with you guys the deets on that. So it is a cardboard package. It's in this gorgeous green color. Once you open it up, here is what we are working with. So there are 8 shades in total. I'll share with you guys the names because I think it's so fun. And then you also get 3 face powders as well. So it's really just a full face and eye palette. I've traveled with this so many times and I just love that everything is in one. All of these are also brand new shades to OFRA's line, which I think is so cool because I got to create them from scratch. The first shade that we have here is this gorgeous metallic pink. This right here is called Marshmallow, named after my sister's daughter, my sister's first baby. Her name is Michali, but I named that after her because we typically call her Marshmallow because she's just a babe. The next shade here is called Cookie. It's a beautiful metallic bronzy, like coppery type of color. Stunning everyday lit shade, I would say. That's named after my niece Carmela. She's the oldest of the bunch. And this one right here is called Fuzzy, which is named after my other niece Sophie. She calls herself Sophie. She's like almost 3, I think. Yeah, almost 3. So I figured I would name this gorgeous purple after her. Next up, we have this gorgeous silver metallic shade, beautiful cool tone color. So that one right there is named after my best friend Rivka. Whenever we talk to each other, whenever we start conversations, it's more like, it always starts off with like, hey girl, you know, so I kind of wanted to incorporate her in here as well. Okay, next we're moving on to this shade, but before I do so you guys can see the top 4 shades are metallic finishes and then the bottom 4 shades are matte finishes. I wanted to create an even amount of both just because I feel like, I know for myself when I do my makeup, I like to have somewhat the same amount of options to be able to build up the crease with, let's say, matte shades and then be able to throw like a metallic shades on the lid. So the first matte shade we have is this one. It's a beautiful maroon color, gorgeous tone. That one is called Yum. Yum is like, I would say one of the top 5 favorite words that I use on a day-to-day basis, probably hourly. So I knew I had to put the word yum in here. Next we have this beautiful matte brown. I figured this would just be essential in this palette. This right here is called Coffee. So since I'm from New York, Brooklyn, New York, I say coffee. C-A-W-F-E-E is how that one specifically is spelled. I know that if you're from different parts of really the world or anywhere else, people say it coffee. I never said coffee in my life. I'm just kind of like, what? I was always like, oh, coffee, and people like, what? Coffee. Next, we have this matte, deep, plummy purple color. This right here is called Friends. Friends is my favorite all-time show. It always hits home. I feel like it's a show that I grew up with, and it's just like one of those like feel-good shows that I always turn to. So I had to definitely incorporate that. And then we have this gorgeous matte green. That's one of my favorite colors in the palette because I just feel like it's so unique and it really amps up any look. And that specifically is called Cleo. So I have this stray cat that comes to my window pretty much on a day-to-day basis. And so I asked one of my subscribers what I should name her, and I got a bunch of names, but Cleo kind of stuck. She's this gorgeous like greenish type of color, so I felt like this would just be so fitting to be called Cleo. Okay, so that's pretty much in regards to the shadows. Next we have 3 face powders here, so a blush, highlighter, and bronzer. The blush is this beautiful mid-tone, kind of like a punchy pink color that I feel like would go with any look. I love that. And that right there is called The City. I'm always saying like on my Instagram stories, oh, I'm going to the city. So perfect shade name for that one. Then we have this gorgeous highlighter, which I'm obsessed with. And that right there is called Heavenly. I actually have a sign in my room that I custom made myself. And it's in the word heavenly. Also, it's a word that I use a lot. I make a lot of TJ Maxx videos and I actually have a series on my channel that's called Heaven at TJ Maxx. So it's a word that really hits home for me, and I felt like for this highlighter, like there really could not have been a more perfect name than Heavenly for that. And then we have the bronzer that's included in here, which is called Brooklyn. Like I mentioned, Brooklyn has been my home since pretty much day one, so I definitely thought it was fitting to have a shade named Brooklyn as well. What's cool about these face powders is you can actually use them for the eyes as well. So I'll use the highlighter for my inner corner sometime, my brow bone. This blush could be used as a transition shade as well as this one. If you have a deeper skin tone, you could even use this as an all over face powder. So really a very multifunctional palette to begin with. Also, back to the eyeshadows, I did want to create two elements. So I wanted to put like cool tones here and warmer tones here. You can use them like in quads, or you could use them as a whole. You can use them even as like duos, and I just kind of paired them in a way where like you can use them for like a day-to-day look, or you can kind of amp things up for the night as well to take it to the next level. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys this look that I have on my eyes. It looks pretty dramatic, but it was actually very, very simple to create. It's only using 2 shades. So we're gonna do a look with that in a sec, but I did want to speak about the lip kit, which I'm also so beyond thrilled about. These are 2 lip products that I created from scratch on my own, and I think that they're the most perfect shades. They're what I'm wearing on my lips today. So in here we get a long-lasting liquid lipstick by OFRA, which I named Liora because I just felt like there really was never any like lip product that was ever named my name. And like I'm always seeing other names, which I think is great, but I'm like, where's Liora? So I just wanted to name that one after myself, yes. And then we have this gorgeous, gorgeous gloss here that has like a clear base but a bunch of pink glitters. It's not gritty or like uncomfortable on. Very, very smooth formula and super hydrating. So I love this baby a ton. I want to say that's pretty much it when it comes to my full collection. And now let's get started with the eye look and lips. So starting off with the palette, we're gonna go in with the bronzer because I only have my base done and brows. So we're gonna go in with the shade Brooklyn. So with this one, I'm just gonna bronze up my skin a bit, add a little bit of color. I love this bronzer. I feel like it adds the perfect amount of warmth to the skin, but not overdoing it, you know? Perfect for a day-to-day basis. And of course it's called Brooklyn because Brooklyn is my home. Brooklyn is my jam. It's pretty much the only city I've ever really lived in. So having it called Brooklyn was such a given because it's a huge part of my life, you know? So yeah, once the bronzer is down, you can see they're blended out so effortlessly, so smoothly. I love. Next, we're gonna go in with the shade The City, which is the blush in the palette. Obsessed with this color. I wanted to create something that would go with every single look, and I feel like I kind of aced it with that. So it's more of a matte finish, but it doesn't look flat on the skin, and it is very pigmented, so really a drop goes a very long way. So you can wear it lighter, or you can totally build it up, and also with this shade, like, well, the more you build up, like, the better it looks, and it just never looks heavy. So I specifically named this one The City because I'm pretty much there at least once a week, and I'm always like on my Instagram, oh, I'm going to the city, I'm going to the city. I used to say Manhattan, but then there was a point where my brother was like, instead of saying Manhattan that has just a bunch of syllables, you can just say The City. And I'm like, you know what, here I am. It also kind of sounds pretty cool. And then I like to put it on my nose a bit too, just to add like a rosy effect. Love it. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Friends, which is a beautiful matte purple on a fluffy crease brush. I did already set my lids with a powder, so that's I'm going in with this, putting it on the corner here. You guys can see, really nicely pigmented. And then I'm just gonna blend it, kind of keeping it low, not too high up in the crease. I'm just gonna take a smaller brush and blend that out a bit. Lids, I'm gonna go in with the shade Fuzzy, which is a perfect pairing shade with, I wanna say the shade Friends. You can use it with anything, of course, but I specifically love it with Friends because it's purple on purple, you know, and these are good purples. So with this, I'm just gonna put it on my lids with my fingers so I can get into every little area and kind of connect it to the outer part of the eye slightly. So there is more of like a smooth, like transitional effect going on. This shade right here is one of my favorite colors. I actually wore it for my engagement, like when I was proposed to. So love this. So once I place the shade on the lid, again with somewhat of a cleaner brush, I'm just gonna blend out the edges so it looks a bit more seamless. I'm gonna go in with a shader brush and I'm gonna go back in with the shade Friends for the lower lash line. With this, I'm just gonna buff it out. I kinda want it to be pretty dramatic since the purple is pretty deep on the lids. So yeah, we're gonna work this in here a little bit more. to build up depth. Then I'm just gonna go in with a clean blending brush to blend out. I need to be very, very smooth since this is very pigmented. I think that this really, really ties in the look. And then on the outer part, I'm just gonna like go out a bit more. Then I'm gonna go in with this smaller brush to kind of push the color in here closer to my lower lash line, so it creates a bit more depth. Just like that. I've been doing this a lot lately and I feel like it really just amps up the look. Love it, love. Next, I'm gonna be using the highlighter, which is called Heavenly. Obsessed with this one. It's literally my favorite thing ever. And the shade hits home all of the time. So with this one, I'm just gonna highlight my brow bone. Love the OFRA highlighters. They're so shiny. They're very shiny. They look stunning on. You could use it, like you could see here, for the brow bone. It's just so creamy and delicious. It's, you know, it really is heavenly. I'm gonna put a little bit of Heavenly on my cheeks as well with this fluffy brush. It looks pink, but it's really like clean. I don't know why it's just discolored. You can see the awesomeness of this shade. Well, yeah, a bit over here too. And then here. Then I'm just gonna go in with a fluffy brush to blend everything out together. Love it. All right, now I'm gonna go apply some black liner, mascara, and lashes, and then we'll come back to do the lips together. Now let's hop into the lip kit. So we're gonna go in with the liquid lipstick and then the gloss on top. So liquid lipstick, we named her Liora, just because, if you know what I'm saying. We needed to have a lip product with my name. So I'll tell you, I really wanted to create a liquid lipstick that also would really go with any look. Or like you can wear it for like a day-to-day basis. Hold on, it's hard to do this and talk. Really like an all-in-one go-to babe, you know what I'm saying? Here is what Liora looks like, and as you guys can see, I feel like the eyes are a bit more dramatic, but this liquid lipstick still pairs really, really well with it, so obsessed. And then the gloss right here is called Scorpio. So since I was born at the end of October, I am a Scorpio, and I figured it would only be fitting to kind of put this duo together. This right here is a gorgeous clear base gloss with a bunch of pink glitter. Just like that nice go-to gloss you can pair with anything. And the OFRA glosses in general are just nice and comfortable, easy, very, very hydrating, and I love. And here is the final completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you do end up purchasing the OFRA X Liora collection, either like, you know, the full kit or the palette on its own or the lip duo on its own, I hope you guys enjoy this. I am looking forward to seeing all of your looks, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.